I think the impact we are already witnessing is not too good. And we have seen um, patients, we have seen elder people um, on daily basis, they are stopped who want to come um, to Pakistan. And after the in the post 15th August scenario, um, there are some divided tribes which lives on both sides of the border, and there was almost no issue. There used to be some time, but mostly there was no issue for them to move around on the border. But even they are facing too much problems after 15th August, and there is only selected people who are allowed, who has some references, or who I'm sorry to say, who bribe some people on the border. Only they are allowed. The rest is there is no policy till now, and nobody knows what has to be done with the Afghan refugees coming across the border. As I said, as one of our panelists said in the start, that Pakistan hasn't signed any the 1957 refugee convention, and there is no law locally. Also, we do not have any law. We do not have any legislation for the refugees, and similarly we do not have any policy also, as it was said before me also, that we have been handling them administratively, but this time there is no policy as till now. And even if you ask for some credible data of how many people have crossed the border after the 15th August, we do not have even that also, and nobody is, everybody's. So, so all these things, it are making the situation even more difficult, because Pakistan is, although we are very good in educating for them across the world to recognize the government of Islamic Emirates of Afghanistan. But when it comes to to addressing the humanitarian crisis, we do not have any policy. We are not allowing the refugees who wants to come. And I will also like to second one of the other panelists who said that there was a narrative here in Pakistan that Taliban have a popular support in Afghanistan, and I think the influx and the gauge of the people who wants to go out of Afghanistan, it very clearly shows that how much popular support Taliban have in Afghanistan. And if we go into the past, the way Pakistan have been treating the Afghan refugees in the past, till now there is no adjustment of these refugees which have been here for almost 40 years, and they still cannot get citizenship. Although Prime Minister Imran Khan has said that I will give them all those people um, who was born in Pakistan, I will give them citizenship rights. But till now, I don't know that who is governing this country, because if a prime minister announces something and it is not implemented, um, the same thing, when the Muttaki came here, the foreign minister of the same kind of statement he issued about the trade with India, but still, that is also not been implemented. I There is one more area which I would like to highlight, is the discrimination in our Citizenship Act. It is, and I would like to highlight it because it mostly happens with the refugees and the Afghan refugees who have been living there. The refugee law is so much discriminatory, gender discriminatory, that if a Pakistani man if he marries any Afghan woman or any other foreigner woman, that woman gets citizenship. But if any foreigner, if any Afghan woman or if any other foreign woman, if she marries a Pakistani, uh, if any Afghan man marries, if any Pakistani man marries, I'm just confusing between those two, but it is not given in the case of a woman. It is not provided in the case of a Pakistani woman marrying a foreigner, marrying an Afghan man. That family is not given nationality. And I have submitted a legislation twice in this current tenure, and both of the times it was rejected without any justification. And I requested the even the human rights minister also, that I said that you are also a woman. How can you accept such kind of a discrimination, that if something is okay for a man, but that is not okay for women. If a Pakistani woman wants to marry an Afghan man, he will not get or any other foreign man, he will not get the nationality. So these things, which these things also need them to be addressed. And apart from that, till now, I guess whatever I have heard from the local NGOs who are working on the part of the UNHCR or even the UNHCR, at least there is no policy which is in our knowledge about the Afghan refugees coming right now. All those who have made to Pakistan, they go to UNHCR and they get registered, and they are of the perception. I don't know whether someone have told them or from somewhere else. They are of the perception that we will get a call within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and we will be told that you will be permitted to go to XYZ countries, the countries which you have mentioned with the UNHCR. Well, but when we contacted these agencies, they do not have any policy till now, and people are waiting. So these things also needs to be addressed, and the most important thing is the treatment of the patients. Because most of the people living in Afghanistan, specifically those who live in the border areas in Afghanistan, they were mostly dependable on the hospitals here in Pakistan. And on daily basis, we get requests from people across the border that we want to bring some patients for treatment, and they also have to face the same kind of problem, and they do not have. They did made a policy for a health visa, but after the 15th August, everything has changed and nothing is happening normally. Although I think it should have been more simplified after the 15th August now, because there is a bigger humanitarian crisis right now. But instead of making it easier, it's now even more harder. I have got calls from many people in Afghanistan who got Pakistani visas, but they were still not allowed to cross the border on Torkham and Ghulam Khan or Chaman, from anywhere. And they were asked for a security pass, and the security pass is, it's a very, 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 it used to be a very prolonged procedure. And we were informed that the cabinet has decided that this security pass will no more be required. But still, people are facing too many problems. The police harassment and the way the Afghan refugees have been treated, I think we do not have a very good track record about that also. And also the the closer of the border, which is again, if we want to close the border with India, I think it's only been done after the approval of the uh, federal cabinet. But in case of Afghanistan, it is closed. Uh, Nobody knows that who has instructed them, but just simple, the army personnel who is in charge on the border, he just orders simple. No procedure is being followed. No uh, cabinet do not know even that what is happening on the border. So this is also too much discriminatory in the context of Afghanistan. I would like to sum it up in this at the end that we need to formulate a policy locally also, internationally also. Um, Everybody needs to formulate a policy for the Afghan refugees. Specifically, the burden, most of the burden comes on Pakistan. Because if this humanitarian crisis, it increases, the bribe wire, it cannot stop the mass influx of people from Afghanistan. Like if a thousand of people they decide to cross the border, they cannot be stopped through a bribed wire, and so there should be some proper policy um, for the Afghan refugees, and also all the donor agencies and all the international community, because the problem of the Afghanistan is not local; it has been and it is an international problem, and if it wasn't if it is not sorted out properly, I think situation will become worse, and after that nobody will be able to control it. Thank you.